Hey, this is Ryan Webb, and hope you're doing great. So today I have James Wise, a very cool and amazing session drummer here based in the UK. So did I say here based in the UK? Well, there's going to be a lot of stupid things that's going to be said. Probably not. I'm not sure. We're just going to keep it all real. So if there's something weird or there's those BP kind of BP kind of words, you'll hear the beep. I think it's better that way rather than me trying to be weirder. So anyhow, so let's go. Let's have a quick introduction. So James Wise, yeah, man. So thank you for doing this, and thank you for taking the time on a Tuesday afternoon. I would say, yeah, Tuesday afternoon. We are at 2 p.m. And so who is James Wiseman?
He's some weirdo. He's some weirdo. Like you say, I'm a session drummer based in the UK. I record. I've got my home studio here, so I do a lot of sessions, especially now. I once was a gigging drummer, and did some tours with theatre shows and stuff like that. Did some pantos and whatnot, and yeah, I'm just trying to now become a better recording guy. And I've done some work with you in the past, obviously, back when I was, I think, 16, 17,
something like that. So you've been with me a little while.
a little bit. So back when I was all baby-faced, and not much has actually changed in that regard. I still can't grow a beard. But yeah, so that's sort of what I do and who I am. I'm just a full-time drummer, or at least trying to be.
So how did this whole studio set up? Why did you go for it? So was there a reason? Was it during the lockdown period? As we all, there's quite a few home studios that's come up during this lockdown period. In a way, it's actually a really good thing, get musicians to kind of, do something different. So was that the reason you set the studio up?
No, so I don't believe in. I'm not a religious person. I respect all that, but I'm not religious. But I do think there is some divine intervention that went on here, because back sort of mid last year, me and my dad are avid snooker players, and we decided, right, let's build a snooker shed. I don't know if you've seen a snooker table, but they're pretty big.
Yeah,
they're 12 foot by. So we were like, right, we need to build a shed that's big enough for a snooker table. So we built it ourselves, did concrete, did everything. Painted it, so that's why it's green walls and red carpet. Got everything ready, got the snooker table in, and then we realized we're a bit thick and confused indoor with outdoor.
Yeah.
So we built it slightly too small. So we built the shed. The shed was perfectly built, but it didn't fit a snooker table. So my dad, in like this fit of rage, was like, "Well, we can't build it down. We can't knock it down. Do you want to turn it into a studio?"
Yeah.
Sure. Absolutely. So we started kitting it out into that. And this was about sort of September last year.
Yeah.
I just gradually started building it up, because size-wise, it's perfect for rehearsals as well as recordings. So like we were getting bands in to record and rehearse and all that stuff, and it was great. And then, of course, the lockdown hit. And I'd done some touring at the start of the year, so I had sort of a bit of a financial cushion. I was like, right, well, I'm probably going to be locked in here for the next 6 months, start kitting it out properly and getting some good sounds from it. And that's what I've been doing for the last, how long ago was March? 5 months?
That was like forever.
5 months to about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
That's what I've been up to. So I've got some proper soundproofing, moved all my drum kits, got my electric kit in here. There's my acoustic set.
Cool. Yeah.
Painted the back wall black.
Hey, backdrop. We got to see some cool stuff on the backdrop, like, one of your crazy things that you would do.
I originally had that. I don't know if you can see, that's blocking out the sun at the minute.
Okay, yeah.
That was like my girlfriend's sort of Opethian tree.
Yeah.
And that was on the background, but then it made me look like a hippie a bit too much.
Yeah.
And it's really awkward blast beating over these things.
It doesn't work for metal, no.
No, it really didn't. So it's like people were clicking on my video expecting something, and then click off.
That's
click off
meditating Matt out. Oops, I don't think so.
I know, exactly. It's like, oh, this looks quite chill and relaxed.
Yeah.
Oh.
So did you and your dad put the whole studio together, or is it just you and your friend, or how did it all happen?
It was me and my dad. So it's like in terms of getting all the stuff, that was me.
Yeah.
It was very much a case of, oh, do you want a studio? Yeah, well, go for it. It's your problem now. So I bought a lot of the soundproofing, like the panels. I've got some big ones, some 6-foot ones that I built. And then, I just gradually over time sort of accumulated all the gear.
Yeah.
Because I think one thing that especially a lot of drummers do when they're building their own studio is they just have no idea what to go for.
Exactly.
In terms of like, do I buy something that's got a lot of inputs? Do I buy something that's only got 2 or 3 inputs, but they're really good quality? Or, what mics do I need to buy? Do I buy £100, PG, whatever drum pack? And so I was like very much sort of spiraling because I never attempted this before. And you talk to 10 different people that have been doing this, they'll tell you 10 different things.
Exactly.
So what I eventually decided to do was invest. I'd rather spend once and be done with it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So and expandability as well was a thing. It's like if I'm going to buy more things, it's not to replace, it's to add.
Yeah.
So I went with the Focusrite 83X.
Okay.
Which was I actually got that for a steal. I absolutely got that for a steal on eBay pre-lockdown.
Have you always been a Focusrite user?
That's the thing. I can't really say I have because I've never done this before.
Okay.
It's just one of those things where, because I studied at the ICMP in Kilburn, the Institute of Contemporary Music Performance. Great school, but in all the production lessons, there was just a little Scarlett, is it I2, I12?
Yeah.
Tiny little red one. One of those at every PC. And obviously in the every Mac, I should say. I don't want to piss off any any diehards. But obviously in the big studios, they had their SSL desks and all that crap. But it was just, everywhere you looked, it was Focusrite. And then I looked online, there was a drummer called Orlando Drummer, who's like one of these big sort of Instagram, YouTube guys.
Yeah.
And he was like, he did a video, which was why I upgraded to the Claret 83X. And I was like, right, well, this just seems the way to go. And I looked at Universal Audio.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing stuff. I didn't have £3,000 lying around. I looked at the Behringer Ultra Gain, which in theory was everything I wanted. But then I got loads of different opinions on what to buy. Everyone said the same thing on what not to buy. It's like, just don't touch it.
Yeah, I think for good inputs, for clean, good mic pre's, for a reasonable cost, I think Audient does really good pre's. It's very clean. Of course, Universal Audio is what I use. And, if you can afford it, then it's great. Or if those cool dudes can sponsor you, which will be even cooler. It's like an 16 pre's or whatever. Oh, that'll be amazing. Anyhow, that's
right.
That's always going to be, it's always a possibility. You can never turn down those kind of things. So talking about products and stuff like that, are you sponsored with any brand sponsor you at the moment, or?
Yeah, so I currently am endorsed by a cymbal company called Derill Cymbals, which I don't know if cymbals or anything like that, but there's a big company called Meinl.
Okay.
And basically, I think Derill are like 2 brothers or maybe 3 brothers, and they basically did all the good stuff for Meinl, like all the big brands and all the special stuff. Derill were like the people that came up with it, and then there was some internal beef. I don't know. But they all split off and made their own company. So you got Murat Drill and Drill, which is, clear as mud.
All based in the UK or where?
I believe they're a Turkish brand.
Okay.
They are Turkish. And so all their this is what I love about sponsoring a company, or sorry, endorsing a company like this. Everything's handmade, which, if you break a cymbal and you need one the next night, it can be a bit like, but every cymbal is handmade for you. It's not like, oh, we'll just take that off the shelf. Here you go. It's like you give them the exact specs, and that's what you're going to get.
Okay, so you would say the cymbals that you have right now are packages that you customized to your specs, and that's
pretty much, yeah.
Okay, cool.
I've got some extra ones because the sponsor, the guy that I work with, just had a few lying around, and obviously with everything that's been happening, it's like, well, I'm not going to be gigging, but I can record a load of stuff, and we've worked out a deal. But so they've been wonderful to me for the last 2 years. So big love to Drill.
Yeah. Do you think it's possible for another musician or another drummer who's just up and coming, and they can kind of approach these guys to get a custom pack made for them? Or
of course.
Cool.
At the end of the day, it's business.
Yeah.
We're not going to get anything for free, but I don't get anything for free. I don't expect to get anything for free.
Yeah.
If you do, then you're sort of going about this whole music thing the wrong way.
Definitely.
But if you absolutely. They'll obviously do you deals.
Yeah.
It's not going to be, oh, you want 4 cymbals. Great. 5,000, please. Like, they are reasonable, and it's all business at the end of the day.
Exactly. So, talking about cymbals now, so what drum kit are you using right now? Or are you have a dream rig or a dream kit, I should say?
Of course. Everyone has a dream rig. Currently, I'm with a Mapex Armory kit, which is that lovely drum kit, which my girlfriend got me for Christmas.
Cool.
She's a keeper.
That is.
And then
big shout out to James Wise's girlfriend.
Oh God, he bought me that drum kit and that air conditioner.
Yeah.
So he saved me.
Yeah.
Over this time.
Hand in hand, man. Those things work hand in hand. Definitely.
Oh, dude. And she's a guitarist.
Yeah.
Like, we was like, well, we're not going to do pedals.
Get her on this kind of shit. It would be so cool.
I know. She could have bought herself so many pedals, but she just went for that's great. And then, so back there, I've got a Sonar Force 3007, which was my first proper kit. And that's my gigging kit. So that was in the back of a van for about 6 months when I went off touring with the Clash tribute, London Calling.
Okay.
Obviously now it's just back here.
So how were you on tour with the Clash?
I just joined. Them. So I did some gigs with them at the tail end of last year because they had another drummer, but he was having some problems. So I was like, right, we're touring again in January. Can you join? Yeah, fantastic. And then it was like a Tuesday sort of mid-November, I got a phone call from the bass player saying, so our drummer's just had this thing come up. He's dropped out. Can you fill in the rest of the gigs? Oh, yeah, sure. When's the first one? Thursday. Great. How many songs? Oh, about 40. Okay. I blagged the first couple of gigs.
Yeah.
And then played some great venues with them in December, and then January, February. And we just started again in March. And then we had about 100 dates and a month tour of Australia.
Cool.
Booked in for this year.
Yeah.
So that's all been,
Yeah.
So it's all been, it's good.
It's good stock up, when all this whole thing probably next year, you never know.
It's not a case of, oh my God, I've got no work. It's a case of, I've got no work at the minute, but it's all there for taking when it comes back. So it's sort of, it's not so much a worry as it's eagerness now.
Yeah.
this is the longest I've gone without gigging in however long. It's like, it's like drug withdrawals.
Yeah.
You
Well,
just need
going back to, for you, learning songs or learning new songs is not a big deal. I think you know that. Anyone you worked with know that. I know that. So anything, that is even a lot more complicated or if it's progressive, even that is not a big deal for you. So the thing is finding good session drummers who are it's not about getting the job done. It's about being on the ball. It's actually you do a perfect job. If you can, you're a kind of drummer. It's one of those things you can just give you a few tracks and probably play on stage. You don't need rehearsals.
Well, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I don't like rehearsals.
Yeah, so that for me, it's absolutely been an amazing thing to have you as a session drummer all these years. So cool. Now we've been talking about the kit, but you still didn't mention what would your dream kit be?
Oh, my dream rig.
You need to dig into that brain of yours. What brands? Let's go with the brand first of all.
Oh, it's like asking me to pick my favorite kid. Actually, I think that might be easier. I'd go with, at the minute, all of my favorite drummers are playing Tama.
Yeah.
My idol is a guy called Alex Rudinger.
Okay.
He originally played Pearl, and so my first ever kit was a Pearl export.
Yeah.
In like chrome, which was rusted off. And I love Pearl. I do love Pearl. Their hardware is bomb proof.
Yeah.
But Tama, there's just something about them.
Yeah.
And also they do these drum kits in Bubinga.
Yeah.
Is now a very endangered wood, and I don't actually know if they do those anymore. But just I heard a Tama Bubinga. It was Birch Bubinga B&B kit, and it was beautiful.
Yeah,
it's so nice. So I'd probably steal one of those.
Yeah,
and I'd probably go maybe 3 rack toms, 2 floor toms.
Yeah,
2 bass drums. It's one of those I'd rather have it and not need it.
Yeah.
So I just get everything.
I think having the 2 bass drums is definitely a plus. Tonally, as well as you can feel, especially when you're doing those fast kind of leg movements with the double bass, you can feel the tonal difference rather than hitting a 1 bass drum itself. Don't you feel that? Right? Yeah, it's definitely
it separates.
Yeah, you can even tune it differently, so you get this kind of feel to it. One can be a little bit lower.
There's a flip side to that though, because I did an album about 2 years ago, and I'm a single kit guy. I use a speed double pedal, but they asked me. They had a kit there at the studio, but they asked me to bring one of my kick drums.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, all right. Are you sure you don't? And they were like, no, it will sound a lot more similar if we do. So I took that's a 22 by 18 maple. And the kit at the studio was like this 20-inch jazz bass drum.
Okay.
So it's like you hit it and there's a note.
Yeah.
Like the old school. Yeah. I was just sort of looking at it. It wasn't the same wood, same size, same different pedals with different beaters.
Yeah.
And I was just sort of looking like, what's the goal here?
Yeah.
I don't no, it'll sound so much more consistent. And you listen back and the guys that mixed it deserve a medal.
Yeah.
Because either that or Slate Trigger does.
So when you get a track from a client, this probably is going to be a stupid question. What is the process, man? So do you know, is this going to take like, say, a couple of hours to get the client, the drum stems, or is it going to take like 6 hours? Or how do you have like an idea, like literally after listening to the track like once and okay, this is what's going to happen?
Yeah, so it varies. It depends on what the client wants to do. So a lot of the times I'll get sent a track with no drums at all. And it's like, right, come up with something completely original. And that will usually take a while. So for that, I'll like it basically just goes down to I'll write out all what I do with every track is I just write out the structure, how many times round, the sort of the vibe it wants, and I'll pin that up on my charts, and I'll just sit at the electric kit and play until about 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And just jam ideas. And the great thing with that is, you can just plug it in, record it, and you've got all these different ideas. And that I do that for everything. If it's original, it takes maybe about a week. If it's like, one of these 8-minute prog, sort of every other bar is a different time signature thing, that'll obviously take a while. But a lot of the time as well, I get something where the drums are done. Yeah. And it's like, this is what we want. We just want it to sound real. And it's like, generally, if I'm sent that in a morning, I could have it done by an evening kind of thing.
Okay.
If it's that like urgent.
Yeah.
Because you do get quite a few. Oh my God, I need this by this afternoon. Why?
That's because creative.
I don't want to name any names.
Yeah. Can you send it to me now, please? So that was interesting to know. But at the end of the day, you would say probably in 24 hours, most of the, yeah. Okay.
Don't want to take too long because
you have to get it all, get the recording things all the mics plugged in, and or is your studio kind of set up ready to go? Like everything's plugged in and
permanently ready to go. Because it's one of those when I'm not. Yeah, because when I'm not recording for work purposes, I'm experimenting, trying to make my mixes sound better, trying to get my drums to naturally sound better. I'm making content for Instagram. Yeah. So there's always a reason to have it set up. Yeah. Oh God, tearing down a drum kit set of mic every day would kill me. That's why I got the second drum kit. Yeah. Because I that was my recording kit, and it was just every time I had a gig, it's like collapse everything, take it out, next day put it all back in. And if I'm in the middle of an album recording, you don't really want to do that because they'll listen and be like, right, these sound completely different. And you can't have that happening. People will figure it out.
So as you receive tracks, is there a specific thing that you kind of hook on to kind of get the groove? Do you, like most drummers do, follow the bass lines or, cut out the vocals? They could be annoying, which is mine most of the time. Things like that. What's the most Let's start off. What's the most distracting thing for you when you start a track or try to come up with ideas?
Vocals.
Yeah.
Always it's nothing to do with performance, but it's just like if you've been sent a demo and the vocals aren't mixed properly. Yeah. Either they're slightly too loud or just some frequencies need to be taken out. Yeah. It's like you'll start the song thinking, oh, this is fantastic. And then the vocals will kick in and it's like, I need to listen to this for 10 minutes. So it's like, it makes me hard. And it's nothing to do,
I totally get that.
I've done so many I only accept songs I like.
Yeah.
And songs are, all the songs I've done are absolutely fantastic. Yeah. But I have a couple of times had to be like, right, can you just send me that instrumentally? Yeah. But also, even if the vocals are mixed fantastically, you want to hear the music. You want to play for the actual band. Yeah. Vocals, and everyone bashes vocalists. So I'm not going to jump that bandwagon. But
is it most of the time clients like give you the freedom to come up with your own ideas, or is it there is a kind of a discussion what they want most of the time, or how does it work?
A lot of the time I'll do a demo on the electric. I'll either say in advance, like, is there anything specifically you want me to leave in? Yeah. And then I'll do demos on the electric kit and I'll send them over and they'll be like, right, this is great. This is great. Don't do this. Yeah. Less double bass, less blast beats, all of that stuff. And then I get it absolutely spot on for them. Before taking it to the actual kit and getting the actual stems down, but generally I get the freedom to do what I like. I think that's one reason why people sort of I do enjoy pushing it
Yeah.
and pushing the boat out a bit of what can be possible. Because I mean, even with simple beats, it's like you need to have the attitude behind them,
Exactly.
and that could be a make or break. But I do like composing fun parts.
Yeah.
You know, and especially if a if that does absolutely fine, then you know I'll do it.
Yeah.
But I will be sort of looking for ways of, oh, why don't we put this little quintuplet fill in here? What if we just, you know, shit like that? And then I'll either be told, that's great, we didn't think of that, or never do that again. Either way, it's like, all right.
Oh, man. So cool. Cool in a good way. But anyhow,
Yeah, exactly.
Do you put something in like on purpose to see if, you know, the clients would notice something? They, I'll just put some rubbish.
You've always got to see what you can get away with.
Yeah.
You know, obviously don't take it too far, because then, you know, I've done it once when I was up and coming. I still am up and coming, but like back when I was starting off, where I just went, you know, batshit.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, we're going to go with someone else. I was like, okay, too far. Too far. So you do have to take that right.
Are you working on anything at the moment? Any projects?
Yeah, so I'm doing an album. I'm doing an 8-track album for an 80s Nawabum band, which is really fun. So they genuinely wrote it in like late 70s, early 80s, then forgot about it, and have now decided to record it. So I don't even think my parents met when they wrote this. So I won't tell them that. But yeah, I'm doing that, and then just quite a few lockdown collaborations.
Yeah.
One of the great
collaborations there. I thought I saw you doing something on Instagram, like a Dream Theater cover or something like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's great that people are doing all these collaborations. It's fantastic. And it's really amazing to see all these communities come together. People you wouldn't normally see gig together are doing it. But it did get to a point about 3 months in where it's like, if I watch one more cover of Rosanna, I shoot myself in the head. So I was like, how can we like push the boat out?
Yeah.
And obviously it's not that, because any prog metal guy knows Dream Theater. So it's not like I'm trying to be some uber, you know, uber cool, whatever. But it's like, it's just music I love doing. And I messaged some mates, a guitarist and a bassist, and just thought, would this be something you're interested in? And they instantly said yes. And within a week, we had the video done of it's Dark Eternity, like some 6-minute Dream Theater piece.
Yeah.
But it was great for me because it's the first track I've ever properly mixed. Sort of, you know, throw myself in the deep end.
Yeah. So in your studio, the current setup now, you did the whole mix.
Did the whole mix.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and it was a great experience.
So where did the other guys track? Was it at their studios, or was it done? Did they come over to your studio? How?
No, it was all at home, because legally they weren't allowed to come round.
Yeah.
If they were, then I would have had them here. But yeah, they weren't allowed to come round. So the guitarist has Kemper, is it called? The guitar?
Yeah.
One of those cracking into Logic. And then I think the bassist did the same thing. He's also, because he's a guitarist by nature, I think's also got a Kemper.
Yeah.
So they both just plugged from there into an interface into their Macs. Yeah. Recorded it and sent it to me for me to mix. And so really nice, clean signals.
Yeah.
But still a pain in the ass because it's a Dream Theater track. And
yeah.
Who in their right mind would start with that?
Well, you would.
I'm not all there, Mr. Webb. I'm not
the whole process of doing that first mix. So, what did you do first? That I think we probably need to hit with another episode with just that mixing thing. Probably takes an hour. You know, the whole process. So, I think another day for that one. So, currently, so you're working on that album, and yeah. And
doing a lot of lockdown collaborations. I think I've got a Metallica one and a Paul Gilbert one coming up.
Yeah.
which should be a lot of fun. I'm getting back into rehearsing with a sort of 6-piece folk doom metal band.
Super.
Yeah, I can't even describe. I don't even think we know what it is yet. But it's like we've got a bunch of doom metal players and 2 violin players.
Yeah.
So like, let's just see what happens. But we're locking ourselves in here for about 6 hours a day and churning out some really cool stuff.
That is so cool. So are you recording the whole thing as you guys are rehearsing, or?
Yeah, so we do it all under headphones. So I go on the electric kit, and that means we all plug into the interface, run it through a Logic session, which was a tip I picked up from your kind self back when I started rehearsing with you.
That's why,
That's the best thing.
You never know how, because it doesn't take a lot of time if you just figure it out, get a basic balance. It doesn't clip. You never know, you could get some really cool tracks out of, rehearsal.
So there's nothing worse than either coming back the following week and being like, right, what the hell did we do last week? And no one to remember. Or it's like some crappy little phone recording that you've got to strain. You've got to sit there and listen for 20 minutes. Like,
bass line, don't know.
Like, is that what I'm playing, or is that just some really bad distortion coming through?
That is an aggressive bass, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So what are there any other plans happening at the moment for you? I know it's a very difficult time even now. How are you kind of enjoying what you're doing, or there's more happening?
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm loving every minute of this, but I've made the executive decision to actually go back to school. I'm going to go back because, like, with all, and this is another thing I recommend is, like, I'm getting by on my knowledge of mixing and all that stuff, but it's like I don't know how I know it. Yeah, I just sort of know that if I EQ at this bit, then it will work, or if I compress this. But I couldn't tell you what each bit meant. So I'm going back to the institute to do a production course for a year and just get the ground knowledge for everything. Because the way I'm looking at it is, worst case scenario, all the gigs come back, and I can't finish the course because I'm so busy doing this other stuff, or I actually learn something, and I use my time wisely, pun not intended. Rather than just sort of sitting on my ass for 10 hours a day watching YouTube videos and Netflix. Yeah. Which I don't do. At all.
Right. That's what everybody does now. I don't do that. I switch on the telly probably like 6, 7 p.m. or something like that and keep it going till like 11, whatever. There's always going to be those odd, lazy days where you think you're going to wake up like 10, which never happens. I actually wake up at 7 in the morning, and
those are my weekdays.
Weekdays, and I decide, okay, I'm gonna have a lazy day, few shots of Jack Daniels, and here we go. The whole day is
your breakfast.
Yeah, the whole day has begun. So pancakes and Jack Daniels. Why not, man?
It sounds
pancakes, bacon, and Jack Daniels.
Oh, mate, no one does bacon like you.
Yeah, that's a big role. You need to kill those freaking bacon, man.
I might drive to yours this weekend. I might just sneak in, grab some bacon. Yeah.
I love cooking, but anyhow, that's another little.
That's the next episode. We'll do a bakery episode next week.
That'd be cool. Imagine in the studio we could just have, probably just burn it to the ground. Which
I was going to say,
don't think it'd be a good idea. Anyhow,
it hasn't waited to happen.
This has been great, man. Is there anything else you want to give a shout out to anyone, or anything, or a brand, or some
shout out to water for keeping me alive during this heat wave. It has been awful.
Used to water.
Yeah. Don't lie to me. That's vodka. Don't lie. But shout out to Water, definitely. Shout out to Daryl and Mapex and Rubik's Drums, who have been keeping me fresh with drumsticks and little gimmicks to work with over this time. They're sort of like a drum studio slash sort of service provider in London. And they do like drum heads, sticks, cymbals. You want it, they've got it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
They're like a distributor. Distributor, that's the word.
Yeah.
So massive shout out to them. And yeah, just a big thank you to everyone who's been keeping me busy during this whole time of no gigs, which, you know, initially I thought was going to be the death of me, but it's turned out to be fantastic.
I think it's what you do, you know, you can either take this whole situation and turn it into a positive thing, or you could just go the other way around. You know, you've got to do what you're doing, totally different things. I never worked on a YouTube channel. This thing is new to me. It's absolutely new. Me chatting.
Oh,
I have no idea what I'm going to say. So there's no freaking thing. Somebody's got to tell me what to do or tell me off or leave something in the comments saying, what the are you doing? So, yeah.
You're natural. You're like the next Graham Norton.
Yeah, well, right. So thanks again, man, for taking the time on this Tuesday afternoon. So this is James Wise and Ryan Webb here. So hope you guys enjoy this random chat, and please subscribe and hit the notification bell if that's possible. I should have been looking at the camera there, but anyhow, distractions and all that. So thanks for watching.